Sorry, we were
with-
unmuted.
Oh.
We were muted.
That's okay. For open space. And we're still waiting to see if somebody will be appointed for an at-large member. So we have 8 members currently out of the 9. Okay. If you could just take a look at the agenda, you'll see our meeting schedule planned out through November. If we need to meet further on, we'll plan that in early November for January. But we have a lot of proposals to go through, and then we'll have people come in and answer questions. And then we need to do our vote for a town meeting. So.
And
Just go ahead.
yeah, I was just to add, I have the Zoom booked and this room booked for all these dates.
Right.
So we can cancel if we are so inclined, or
Okay.
if you feel like we're in good shape, we can cancel them, but I wanted to make sure they were
We can.
all.
Great. Thank you,
covered.
Dawn Marie. Appreciate it. I would like to thank Dawn Marie for her support and professionalism and help with all the intake, printing, and the packets for each of us. It's been quite a summer getting everything together. Just if everybody could be diligent when you get an email saying that there's stuff to be picked up, if you could pick it up and look at it to make sure that you have information or you have questions prepared for the meetings when we have them. And if you have questions that can't wait, please email Dawn Marie and we'll try to get everything answered in advance if need be. Okay. I'd like to have our conservation agent, Brittany, join us now to discuss her application. So if everybody could pull out that application from your packet.
Hopefully had a chance to review the packet, but if not, this request is sponsored by conservation and it is a proposed land acquisition for 3.2 acres directly adjacent to the Taylor Bray Farm in Youngsport on Nottingham Drive. And so this parcel is currently marked and recognized by the Mass Historic Commission and the Capital Conservation Commission as having historic resources and archaeological resources present, as well as wetland buffer zone, the flood zone, and is delineated as ideal habitat for saltmarsh migration, which is one of the goals in the open space and recreation plan, is for us to prioritize parcels that have that for acquisition. It has the potential to be developed into 3 single-family lots. And the appraised value was between 1 and 1.2 million across 2 appraisals. And the request is for 605. So the negotiated value of the lot is 600,000, and then the 5,000 is just for the conservation restriction, recording fees, and all that. The timeline for this project is for this fall town meeting, and that's just based on the desires of the seller for it to be sold quickly. And we have letters of support from the Open Space Committee, Conservation, Historic, Select Board, and the Salt Works Cove, which is the neighborhood directly adjacent to. Also adjacent to 30 acres of existing conservation-owned land, will help with connectivity and habitat. And we have applied for funding from free cash, and I've applied for a land grant, which is a reimbursement grant, which can cover up to half of the value. But we won't know about that until just before town. I think that about covers it. So we have any other questions?
Debbie, do you want to start? Do you have any questions? No? Nice job.
Thank you.
David?
No questions, but I would note that the historical commission was very enthusiastic about this project. It helps to extend the effectiveness of the Taylor Bray Farm. The project has a lot of historical value, so.
Great. Thank you. Drew?
No, good question. I remember we talked about this extensively. It
Okay.
seems like a really good idea to me.
Paul?
Yeah, just one question about the letter from the
Space.
some concern regarding the driveway encroachment on the western side, and if we recommend consideration of moving the western corner of the lot.
Yes, as part of the offer to purchase, it's been included So the agreement that's been signed by the town and the seller, there's been contingencies included in the offer to purchase, which include the seller resolving the encroachment shown for the driveway. So they'll resolve it by eliminating the owner's use and just having them go back to the original.
Okay, so who will own that little piece of land?
The town would own it.
They would, okay, right.
So it was not worth subdividing further.
Yeah, okay.
So we decided to include it in the offer to
I see.
purchase, have them resolve it so the town wouldn't have to.
Okay.
Where was, because that was my question too, sorry, Joanne. So where's their original driveway entrance? Is it over by Taylor Bray Farm?
Driveway entrance to Hockanum Road,
Okay,
which is, it does go through Taylor,
okay,
but it is the assessed
right,
frontage.
okay. So there, if it's not,
Another access.
okay. Okay, thank you.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, also, a couple of references to the archaeological value of this, both for early settlers, I guess, and for people. Is there any plan in about searching for?
Uncovering them, not currently.
No, okay.
So it would be required to have a conservation restriction on it as all land acquisitions that are funded through CPA funds. So it would, if that is to come up in the future, I'm sure it would be, we would put it in the conservation restriction as an approved use as long as they don't disturb too much area.
Yes. Yeah.
It would have to be within the conservation
Yeah,
restriction.
okay, great. Okay. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Bob. Joanne?
Just a couple of questions. I noticed that the other funding sources, I would imagine that the free cash will be on this special town meeting agenda as well.
Yes.
Okay. And is that currently a line item anywhere in the capital budget now that you know of?
I applied to the capital budget portals, and so they review the capital items. My understanding, not so savvy in the capital budget world, but they review them as part of capital or as part of the free cash, but what I'm requesting for town meeting is to have the acquisition and all funding a single article. So for the town to vote to approve the acquisition and funding through CPA and free cash in a single article. So that's what we're planning.
Okay,
And the ultimate goal would be, I've asked for the full amount from you all and half the amount from free cash. In the event that if I get the grant, I would return as much as I can to CPA.
that means the land grant, the 324,000. Should you receive that?
I'll be notified of the award. Pretty much gave me the same week as town meeting. So I will either know very shortly prior to town meeting or right after.
So if in fact you're successful in acquiring the grant, that then would become a reimbursement to the CPA,
That's correct.
and not a reimbursement to the town.
That's the plan for this.
Okay,
So we'll
I
just,
want to make sure we make a note of that. That is the plan, that the reimbursement would be to CPA funds,
Yes.
not to the general revenue fund of the town. Okay.
Yeah, put that in the motion.
So, the total negotiated cost for the property is what?
It's fine.
It is 600, okay,
That extra part.
right, yeah, and the CR, yeah.
Yeah.
And the owner is on board with that number?
Yes, so the seller has signed an offer to purchase, which is just town council's way of putting our contingencies in a single document while they prepare the purchase and sales, because they didn't have time to get together that whole thing when we wanted to get this on record. So I have that offer to purchase. If anyone wants to read it, I can provide it. But it just lists all the contingencies. They need a couple approvals. They need an A&R from the planning board.
So they will be coming back with it for an A&R. Okay. Okay, that's all I have.
okay, great. My questions have already been asked. so-
All right, let me
Go ahead.
hand this out. Take one and hand it down. Because I don't want to get deep in the weeds with the budget stuff quite yet. But this is the preliminary look at what we have on hand and what is anticipated to come in. But right now, just focus on the FY 26 reserves available for appropriation, that top block. That's money that we have on hand currently, which is the money we'd be using for this article for the fall town meeting. All the stuff below, the FY 27 revenue sources and appropriations, that stuff we'll talk about, next meeting or when Jen comes to
Mhm.
talk to us about budget. But for the land acquisition, I presume you'd like to know how much money is sitting in the bank right now. And that's that top two numbers, undesignated, 3,244,342, and open space, 1,349,283.
And would it be, it's recommended that we take it out of open space or undesignated? Does it matter? Do we just do open space?
I don't know that it matters. I know that Jen's,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the conversation we had with Jen last
Yeah.
year in terms of her looking to prioritize
Which
the
gets,
order in which we grab money.
which is to use, if I understand correctly, to use what you have on hand, then use your estimated revenues. Everything else goes into undesignated, which you can spend on anything.
Right.
right,
So it kind of makes sense
do the open space.
to do the open space because
Okay.
you can
That's what I thought.
always, like we did last year, remember, we made a 10% allocation to the open space
Right.
reserve. You can always do that
yeah.
too at town meeting. If you don't have projects lined up and you've got money, you can throw it all into undesignated, or you can throw it into any other pot you want. Really.
And from the information I've gleaned, I believe 2021 was the last time we had a land acquisition. Was it about 4 years ago?
It would have been Yankee
2019.
Village.
No, Starbucks?
So it's been a while.
Starbucks
been a
was-
few years.
Oh, the.
Higgins
the one-
Kroll
yeah,
Road.
Yeah. Higgins
That's
Kroll
right.
Road.
Yeah.
And that was 2023, I think.
Yeah.
I
So
probably
it's been
have
a
it
few
on my-
years. Any,
Yeah.
any other questions, commentary for Brittany? No? Are we ready for a vote or do people need more time?
We're ready for a vote.
We're good? Okay.
I think the one thing we need to come to agreement on is which pot we want to use. I think that has to be in the motion if I'm
Right.
not mistaken.
Yes.
I mean, we could always change it between now and special town meeting if Jen thinks it's
Before
not.
advised,
quite
right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we
Well, in
could,
that Case, and according to how I heard you talking about it, we would say we'll use the open space
Mhm.
money that we have on hand, right?
Yeah.
In
that's
This motion today.
what I would
Yes.
Yeah.
do, yep, to start out and,
To at least let her get the wheels going for town
To
meeting
get
in
it onto the
November.
warrant.
And we have a meeting next week. We can always amend it.
Yes.
Say,
For the articles are due on September 30th. But I imagine I would have to edit from the floor anyway. If I have a price, like if I get the grant, I'll change the values.
Right.
So
okay,
the value is not a big deal to change.
Okay.
Yeah. Solid track.
and that's the thing, there's money in the open space reserve
Right.
right now to be used. And when money comes back, which it most likely will, from either free cash or from land grant, it will go back
Back
into
into
the
open
open
space.
space reserve.
okay.
So right now, we're coming out of the 1,000,003.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions, discussions? If I could have a motion then to allocate the money and any restrictions we want to put on reimbursement back to us?
The only other thing we add is the length of time. It's
Mhm.
typically 2 or 3 years that
Mhm.
it would have to be executed. But I'm imagining
This should be done.
it's a rush
Yeah.
now, which,
So when you get the letter, it will say probably 3 years. That's our average. We'll just keep it at 3 just in case.
Standard.
And
Yeah.
always, up to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
5.
Mhm.
It's specifically stated that it's on Tuesday, right now.
Mhm.
Remember that always used to be thrown in.
Yeah, so that it's okay if I use less.
Yeah. Can somebody make a motion?
So, I move-
Up to,
Up to 600.
okay.
Can
you,
and
it will come from open space. Did you want to? Could I have a second?
yeah, we did that.
Oh, Deb, sorry.
Yeah,
Any
Okay.
other discussion? Do we need to put any language in about reimbursement coming back?
Subject
Do we?
provided any review. That be made to CPA.
Thank you. Thanks, David. Okay, any discussion on the motion? We will have a vote. Deb? Aye. David?
Aye.
Drew? Paul?
Aye.
Joanne? Judy? Aye.
all right. So
Thank you. This was great.
I will try to get you at least a transcript of the minutes next week so that that can believe it's really true.
I'm interested in what you kind
Okay.
All
right.
right, so check that.
So that,
So next, we good? Next on the agenda is, we have had, 4 requests from, organizations, town departments that have received funds from this committee in the
here's
past,
another ticket.
and
Hand
they
it
have
around.
not been used. So we're gonna go through each one. I'm gonna go through each one and then sort of go back and we can vote each one separately, yes or no.
Let's-
What we want to do. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, here's the little table I
Thank you.
made. Hopefully it is consistent with what you discovered as well.
Okay, so the first request is from the town clerk, records preservation,
one yours?
retention and
Okay.
management. It was awarded in spring of 2021 for $150,000. It has not been used. And she would really like to, even though it's been 4 years, keep it, and I think they're saying that they're gonna push to get it done sooner now, rather than waiting another period of time.
Is this a request by, Mary?
Yes.
Yeah, 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 the
Yeah,
letters
there's the
attached
letter in
there.
it, yeah. So all of these just didn't get to use the money in the appropriate time. As we just stated, it's usually 3 years they get to use their funds. And these 4 groups did not. So they would like to keep the money rather than us saying, oh, your 3 years is over and we're gonna take the money back and put it back in our funds, which sometimes happens. Right, so, roll it to the next year's appropriation. So that's the first one. The second one is, Cape Playhouse Preservation. That was awarded in 2021 for $65,000. The third one is the Yarmouth Historical Commission, a Yarmouth Archaeological Reconnaissance Survey. They believe that the, staff person now can help get that going and moving. They just didn't have the volunteers and the manpower to get it done before, but they would really like to continue it. It's important to them. And then Forward at the Rock Phase 2 was awarded in 2023 for $180,000. And that is homes up off of Holcomb Rock in Dennis for adults with disabilities. I believe there's already a section, a home that was
Yeah,
built a few years
Yeah,
ago that
yeah,
they're
that's
using.
phase
And
one.
this would be phase two, that they're now ready to embark upon. So if you want to take a minute to look at what Dawn Marie put in the packet. And then we'll go around, see questions or.
And I was just gonna say, I wonder if that historic archaeological reconnaissance survey would include the parcel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, there's lots of evidence up there.
I have one question, Don Marie. The records preservation,
Yes,
what category did that rest in?
historic
Okay.
preservation. And that's one of those slippery areas where, but it's been kind of vetted through the coalition that it qualifies as historic preservation, even though some could claim it's kind of an operating expense.
Mhm. Yeah.
But-
Well, it was approved, so.
Mhm.
The question on here?
Fine with
Let
me.
the chairman think about this. Yes, you may. Don't be sorry. Go ahead.
If it- They're either in place for an extension request, they've already all expired, or except for the 2023 one. So it comes down, you have to request an extension prior to expiration. Noted.
Using the budget.
Yeah, technically they are supposed to request it before it expires, yes. I think Forward at the Rock is kind of breaking ground this week or
Uh-huh.
next week. I think the Cape Playhouse is starting up on their project in the
They've
next
been-
month or so,
Yeah, they've
so.
been working on it bit by bit. but
Yeah.
I think this is to finish up.
Really to approach each individually and take a look at the letter and the rationale for why they want the extension,
Mhm.
you know. And, for example, I guess starting with, Mary's recommendation. It seems, and again, I would have to read it over more carefully, but, it seems they ran into some problems. Because they didn't have anybody that says review documents currently housed in the old water department and so on. Now they seem to have the people in place. And this has been going on since, when was it first,
21.
21?
So it's been 4 years.
4 years. I mean, if they have people in place, then, I guess, just speaking for myself, I would be in favor of taking her at her word and say, yeah, they can do this. But, the thing is that it's disconcerting in a way, or disappointing that this money has been tied up for so long.
Mhm.
And there's a part of you that says, well, why don't you just apply again? Because other folks might come forward and it might be some worthwhile thing that would require,
Mhm.
would be benefit from the funds available. So that's one of the thoughts I had. I mean, I guess I trust her.
Right.
She's like a very nice lady. And she says she has, but could it be reflected somehow in the decision that, you know what? Okay, but don't do this again.
So if she applied, she wouldn't be able to apply till 2026. And she would, if approved, get her money in town meeting of 2027. Which is fine, but I'm just saying that's because our deadline is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is closed. Hold on one second.
What's the,
Go ahead.
give an extension, what's the time limit?
That's up to us.
Right, that's a way of disciplining it, right? Like it's extended for X amount of
Mhm.
time, a year, 1 year? I don't know, I never did anything like that. What's your practice?
Has it,
Usually it's based on the request that they've made. Did she give
I don't think
a
she did.
She didn't have.
She
timeline?
didn't have
Because
that timeline. How often does this happen though with the committee?
Not really.
Yeah,
Well,
Often.
no, I would say maybe one a year.
Okay,
But usually, usually the project is already in process. It really doesn't happen that frequently,
We have
that
nothing started.
nothing has happened at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
And
so we basically have two questions to answer as we go around. Do we want to offer any extensions at all, or do we want to just tell everybody your time has expired, reapply for, with the deadline of September 2026 for town meeting of 2027 and let them do it that way? Or do we go through each one and say, okay, we'll do this one, but not this one, we'll do that one. And then what's the third thing, I guess, is the time limit. Do we put a 1 year, 2 year, or do they go back to 3 years? Because now 3 years, they're out to 2028. And if they don't use the money again, it's now 7, 8 years that money's been tied up. So just things to think about.
Theoretically, we write a letter to Mary Maslowski and say, when are you gonna be able to do this?
Right. Right.
Before we make a decision, you
Yeah.
could do that, right?
Yes. We don't have to vote on these today, right?
Yeah,
There's no need to, I mean,
I already said a little bit, of course. But it seems to me that they would have to be, considered individually.
okay,
'Cause
yes,
somebody might
yes,
have better
that, we're gonna
idea.
vote on each one, yes.
Yeah.
I had planned to vote on each one individually.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have questions like we do for a regular proposal, we can let Dawn Marie know and have the answers next week and then vote on, if we wanted to vote on, let's say, one today and the other 3 we have questions and then look at it for next week. That's also fine. Okay.
Sure.
So do we wanna, let's start with this one then. Do we have questions for the town clerk that we would like her to answer? And then we can vote next week on it if we want to continue, and for how long? So Paul, your questions are, does she have the staff?
Well, she kind of addresses some important.
Right,
elements
but
here.
how long?
One is we added 2 full-time employees, so what I'm trying to say is that she's indicated certain things that might give us confidence in terms of ability to get this thing done quickly and maybe within a 1 year timeframe, something along that line, if that's unrealistic. And then the other thing is.
So what's your time frame?
He's also preparing a scope of work with the IT department, and maybe the IT department is a little more effective than it was a few years ago. So maybe there are a couple of things that they already have another year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll find out from her how long.
Yeah, and
He would
that's
need-
just my opinion. And
No, I think in this particular case, and I think this is different than the others, really nothing has been done. And I have a question as to preparing a scope of work for what?
Mhm.
And is that scope of work going to be different than what the original application
Oh,
was that was approved? And is it going to be an RFP that goes out to a consultant for 150,000? So.
Okay.
Maybe Mary could join us.
yeah,
That's a very good.
Maybe next, or whenever, if she could join us, that would be. Because other questions might
Yeah.
create
mm-hmm,
other questions.
Right.
yeah.
So I recommend we hold on this one.
Debbie, questions for the town clerk?
Nope.
All right, we'll have her in. David, anything? Okay,
All right, so that's good. I will let her know that you'd like her to come and be prepared to answer a couple of questions about the timeline and the scope of work.
That next week.
Can you, Dominic, can you pull out the original application
Mm-hmm.
and get that to us? Because I don't think any of us were on the committee in 2020.
I wasn't.
Probably not, right?
You might have been.
Could you dig through your records and see if you can find it?
Does that-
Your record's not.
Yeah, that was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, so we'll hold off till he
okay.
visits then. The second one is the Cape Playhouse.
So on this one, it looks like their deadline was May 2024.
Mhm.
Is that,
Well, that's when they anticipated to be done, but the contract
They ended up, I think, having more, once they started repairing and doing,
Mhm.
there were more issues than they anticipated.
Yeah,
And, because they have replaced a bunch of the shingles on the outside, they have done a bunch of stuff inside. I think, I'm guessing, and again, we can have her come in, Nora as well, to come in and talk about, but from the letter, it looks like,
He does give specific dates here. We
Yeah.
plan to be commence work next month,
mm-hmm,
within weeks, and even has a completion date at the end of the year specified, so that's a little more specific. than
right,
the
And it-
previous.
it looks like they had to do internal repairs for the rigging on the stage versus, so they had to get funds for that. That had to be done before they could do some of the other stuff. I think they put in AC or
Yeah, yeah.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
So, which makes a huge difference in the summer. Yeah, so, yeah. Commence work next month, and then, so we could, again, we can ask questions, we can have her come in. We can limit, instead of 3 years, do 1 year. If they're planning to start soon to finish the outside work.
So they had to put a hold on the outside work because they had this other issue.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's from what I understand from the letter, yeah. Is the committee interested in having her come talk next week? Or do you have enough information here?
For me, my intuition is say, we'll give you an extension of 1 year.
Okay,
So we need to find out when it expired. Because if it expired a year ago, we'll need to make an extension of,
Right.
of 2 years,
That's a very
so
good point.
whatever,
oh,
whatever
you
that
could
is.
give, or
they
you
were
could give
awarded
it,
in 2021, so it expired in 2024.
Ah,
So
okay.
what
Or
about
you could-
giving a date for the extension?
Right, you
Yeah.
could say,
Yeah.
2026, or January 30th, or March 2026. I don't know.
right, when I write the contracts, I allow usually 6 months because we do
Right.
reimbursements, so you have to allow them to get
I
the
see, yeah.
canceled checks back so they can give them to me,
Mhm.
so that we can get
Yeah.
them their reimbursement.
Mhm.
And then I also always plan that there's gonna be a 3-month delay due to weather.
Okay.
So,
You're right, yeah.
Oh, that's right, New England.
yeah.
This is the world, it's not just a fantasy world.
So if you could say they're anticipating to be complete by December 31st, 2025, you could say an
Till
extension
June.
until June 30th.
The end of the fiscal
So
year,
there-
that makes sense.
Their original, the amount of time provided in the original, application was what?
3 years.
3 years.
Because, he says our original timeline anticipated started October 23, completion in May 2024. Was that within that 3-year timeline?
It would have been because the contract, when I, write the contract and load it into the system, if their finish date was May of 2024, then I would have added 6 months onto that. So it would have been
December 23.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Of 2024.
Okay. So I'm not going to do a vote right now, but people are thinking maybe extend them till June 30th, 2026.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right now. Okay. The next one is the Historical Commission, the archaeological dig. Any,
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go
you,
ahead.
Judy, but
Don't-
is there some reason we don't want to take action on this today?
oh, we can. I just wanted to go through them and then
Okay,
we can go
sure.
back and vote.
Great.
In case something
Yep.
else comes up.
Yep.
I did. Historical, is that
David?
David?
We did discuss this at our meeting on. Voted. Request an extension. Yeah, as far as I recall, and I don't have the minutes available.
Yep.
As far as I recall, the delay around the project was. Budget, as far as sense for the town.
Okay.
Will yield a lot of important information, things like what archaeological sites are available that should be looked into further.
Okay.
So, they requested, the commission has requested an extension through this time in 2027.
Thank you. questions on this one right now?
On the archaeological.
Yeah, do we want anybody to come in? Are we comfortable with what they're asking for? So, they would be extended through 2027, which would be 2 years from now.
Yeah, given that after COVID was,
They didn't have the staff.
yeah.
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 I remember them putting together. Project. Gotta do that.
Everybody all set with this particular proposal?
Yeah.
Okay, Executive Director David Kaplan on the forward. Friends of or relatives with autism and related disabilities.
You know, he's requesting a specific date. It's kind of good.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think this is pretty straightforward.
So it's just-
He's not late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then, yeah, the back page is like the press release that they put out. So they're, you know,
certainly done
they're
their
really
homework.
well organized.
yeah,
They
yeah,
are
yeah.
tight.
And there are plenty of funds from other towns
Yeah.
and, again, it's construction, it's behind, yeah, yes. Yeah. Any other, we don't need to have him in then? We've got the information?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So,
Wonder why Mashpee was the only town that didn't.
You noticed that too?
I did.
beyond our role and responsibility. So for the first request for extension, town clerk will have Mary come in next week. Answer our questions. If you have more questions, I just ask if you could get them to Dawn Marie by Monday so that Mary can prepare. There's nothing worse than blindsiding somebody with questions and the information somewhere else, so they have to gather it. So if you have any other questions beyond what we've discussed, if you could please forward that to Dawn Marie, that would be greatly appreciated. And we'll have Mary next week. Okay, agreed?
Yep.
Cape Playhouse. Do we feel like we could have a vote on that with their extension to end June 30th, 2026? Their extension? Go ahead, Drew.
You know, we're just trying to formulate such a motion.
Would you like to make a motion?
Approve an extension for the Cape Cod Center for the Arts until, wow, look at this. Right at the top, I hadn't read this before. They're requesting an extension until March 31st, 2026.
We're gonna
Sorry.
put it to June just to give them extra time for
I hadn't
reimbursement.
noticed that.
Yeah.
I move that we approve an extension request from Cape Cod Center of the Arts until June 30th, 2026.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
A second.
Thanks, Deb. Any further discussion on Cape Cod Center for the Arts? Okay. We'll do a roll call, Joanne.
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
David,
I,
Debbie, aye, Judy, aye. Great.
You can get them put in bigger seats.
It's the little slant in the balcony that gets everybody every single time when you walk into your chairs. Okay, the Historical Commission for the Archaeological Survey Grant. Any other questions? Are we ready for a motion on this one? Yes?
Yes, I think we are.
Can somebody, I'd appreciate if somebody would make a motion for this one?
Yeah, make a motion that we approve the request for an extension for the archaeological survey. What would it be?
They have July 27 they would like.
So what is that an appropriate date? July? You want to go farther than that?
Do you want to do December?
Yeah, you want to say December? That'd
Yeah.
be,
Till December 20.
December 2027.
that sounds better.
Could I have a second, please? Thanks, Drew. Any further discussion? Joanne?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Drew? David? Debbie? And Judy, aye. Great, thank you all very much. Last one is Forward at the Rock Phase 2. They are looking for an extension to June of 2026, but we would like to do it till December for reimbursement, December
Yeah,
of
that'd be great.
2026 for reimbursement. Any other questions on this one? We're good. Okay, could I have a motion, please?
To move forward on that for extension of, would you say 12,
December 2026.
26?
2026.
Yep. Thanks to, could I have a second, please?
Second.
Thanks, Joanne. Any other discussion? Questions? Okay. Joanne? Vote?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Drew?
Aye.
David? Debbie?
Aye.
And Judy, aye. Thank you all very much. Okay. Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Hi, Brittany.
Okay.
That's later. Extension requests are done.
Yep.
Oh, so we
Good.
could go back to,
We've got the rest of it, but then we can start going through the proposals if we have time.
okay, you want to do it that way?
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
okay.
Just to get, because we don't have minutes, so we should have time. Each year, the committee is a member of the Community Preservation Coalition for the state. And each community receives a notice on dues. Our annual membership dues for this year is $4,350. If you don't pay it, you just don't get the benefits of belonging and the information that they provide and the knowledge and showing you what other towns are doing. The dues is based on what we collect from each real estate tax bill. So if you have higher income, your dues are going to be a little bit higher. There's a whole formula on their website if you're interested. So do we need a vote to
We
pay the
do.
dues? We do.
We do.
Okay. So questions about it's something that's been done
Mm,
for years. Any questions on paying the dues? 4,000?
Yeah, it always seems like something people want to do in experience here. But with it.
Could I have a motion to pay the Community Preservation Coalition dues?
I make a motion to
Thank you. Deb.
application, dues.
Thank you very much. Could I have a second, please? Any other further discussion or commentary? All right, we'll take a vote. Debbie?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Drew? Paul?
Aye.
Joey? And Judy, aye.
What was the amount again?
4,350.
Does that come out of CPA
Yes.
funding?
Yeah,
I
the admin
administrator.
fund.
Okay, we have, let me just get to my notes. The town is has hired a new community development director. Her name is Megan Eldridge. She currently is the assistant town administrator in Harwich for the last 11 years. Debbie's shaking her head. She must
Yeah.
be a dynamo. Yes?
She is, she's very good.
Okay.
She's very, very good.
And she lives in Yarmouth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's her name?
Megan, Meggan Eldridge,
With an E.
Double G.
Eldredge.
With two
Yeah,
Gs.
2 Gs. Yep. Yep. So she'll start the end of this month, early October. We're going to invite her to our October 8th meeting to just come meet us and talk for a little bit. So we can get to meet her as well. And I'm sure she'll be attending meetings and in and out. But I figured the first was a little too soon for her. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Because Karen left in the spring and she's part-time. Is she still part-time here or is she done?
No, yesterday was her
Her
last
last day?
final, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
She was working part-time in
Got
the transition over. So, but Megan will be invited to our October 8th meeting. So if you have a question.
Melvin's director. Sometimes it's described as almost like an assistant town manager. Is that right?
Well, the new assistant town administrator is going to start on November 3rd. So we do have a separation between those two roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Amy Berjuli,
Yeah,
Berjuli, who has been I think, assistant town administrator in Franklin. But she lives on the Cape,
she just got married, I believe.
and I think that's why it's November. She's
Right,
getting married and
right.
going on her honeymoon, and then she's gonna
She is so
start here.
smart.
Good.
She's gonna fit.
What's your task?
I met her, so at one of the selectmen's meeting, and had my picture taken with her. She's just so nice, talking to her and everything. And she's really on the ball and can't wait to
Good.
start, which is nice.
And what I've been told is it's gonna be a more traditional hierarchy than when Bill Scott was here, because he kind of had some very specific goals, particularly around the sewer funding. And didn't really necessarily fit the traditional, again, position, job description kind of thing. So now that we've got substantial progress on the sewer, Amy will be more traditional, whatever that may mean. And Megan will be, I guess, a traditional ComDev director,
Whatever that means.
whatever that may mean.
We'll find out.
Remember, I came on full-time March of 2020, so.
It was great meeting everybody then, right?
Yeah, for 5 minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
see
see
you
you
later.
after it's over.
The town hall closed.
See you in 4 years.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
What
Right.
about that guy that was working on the other company begins with an arrow?
Rivoli?
Yes. He's-
Well, yeah,
he's
I mean,
history.
they'll, I guess, finish their contract, and apparently, according to the select board meeting last night, we're in litigation with them, so that'll drag on for years, but
Did you watch this selectmen's meeting?
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
I would.
yeah. But yeah, they'll be done, I guess, at the end of this year. And the next contract was awarded to Diggett. So Rivoli will be,
Okay,
Sewer thing.
for the sewer,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Great, thanks, everybody. I'm going to just do committee member updates. And then, it's not quite 4. We'll have time to start going over just briefly, not review in any depth, but just look at what we have for our 10 proposals and what dollar amount. We're also going to plan in October to have the finance director come in and go through. She'll have a better idea then of monies, what that we have. And she's great about telling us again, which funds to use, whether we should do undesignated or open or split it half and half, whatever. I mean, her grasp of that is great. I found very informative last spring. So she'll be invited in October as well. I don't want to have her too soon, so probably end of October, so that we can get through the proposals. Once we review the proposals and we have questions, same thing as with the town clerk, Dawn Marie will contact whatever the group is. Hey, here are the questions, or they would like you to come in and talk to the group. And then we'll have specific days where we'll do one interview after another with questions that we may have about the proposal. So mark up your proposal. You got enough packets, mark them up, highlight them, whatever. I use multiple colored highlighters and pens when I was doing mine. And then I got lost and went, what was that specifically? That one. But there's plenty of written notes. So we'll go around and just do member updates. Debbie, anything from rec or anything in general?
No, I'm gonna be appointed for a year.
Okay,
Because they have someone that's in the medical field that wants to come aboard. And like, what's the name? Joyce turned around and said, Debbie, you're gonna be here every year. So I wouldn't.
Okay.
The appointment, so I'm good.
okay, great. Drew?
Yarmouth Housing Authority is getting a new member. It's been appointed by Governor Healy. And that's going to improve our functioning from very spotty functioning due to lack of quorums
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to good functioning.
Okay,
Good.
Okay.
That'll be an interesting upgrade in how we operate.
So is there a search on for a member, or they've got somebody and you just haven't met them
Been
yet?
appointed.
Okay, okay.
Has been appointed as of yesterday.
Oh, great.
But the rest of you all elected
3 are elected. 1 is appointed by the state, and that just happened
Right,
yesterday.
right?
And there's another member that is supposed to be a tenant representative. And there's a very complex law on that, and we haven't been able to find a tenant representative
Oh.
quite yet. So there's 4 active members at the moment, yeah.
Okay.
David?
Historical Commission is looking for another member or 2. And we're busy with a lot of different applications. We've got a few of the usual demolition permit
Mhm.
before us at the moment. And on the side of that, we're working hard on beginning to plan events around the 250th anniversary of Yarmouth Independence Day, as we're calling it.
yeah.
Yarmouth declared independence when 20th. And we're planning on June 20th of 2026 to unveil our Revolutionary War Monument. And also sort of have a program there, probably in the morning at Thatcher Park up on 6A. And then unveil the monument and then move to the ancient cemetery and have a ceremony around the identification of, I think, some 53 Yarmouth residents whose graves are there, who served in the Revolution. And there will be some markers installed by that time to those grave sites and a suitable ceremony around those things. So mark your calendars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great.
26.
Great.
It's just the local independence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Ahead
never
of,
do that.
ahead of
Thought of
the
that
country by a week and a half, I guess.
And what kind of monument's gonna go up there?
Well, there's a beautiful new monument being built, Debbie, by a company called Skylight, who are in Woburn. And it's gonna be a very large granite thing with the 50 some odd Yarmouth residents who participated in the revolution.
Wow.
And striking the
Just put
time,
the
it's been presented at
I
town
can
meetings.
check.
You'll see on the top of it a statue of a colonial family. Preparing for the opening.
That's
It's
Like-
cool.
totally incredible.
Uh,
I know.
Dawn Marie went to get the picture of the,
Oh, great.
of the monument.
I know, Recreation redid that park in honor of Fred Thatcher.
Yes, yeah, beautiful park.
Yeah.
So that's the front and then that's the
Hey.
back.
Awesome.
This will be in the, the park is a triangle and the
Right.
sharpest point on the north end of it.
Up by the
There's an area for
cemetery.
nothing.
After the basketball court.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Much credit to Bob Kelly.
That is like totally, did you see this?
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
had
first
seen
time.
that, yeah.
That's beautiful.
And it's a great park. It's used by a lot of people, but I
Yeah.
think this will educate and add so much to the young
my
families
God.
that use it.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now you have the stone up front and you have the, who it's designated, but not everybody necessarily goes up by 6A. They're at the playground and the basketball court and they're on the grass and stuff. So
Yeah, when we dedicated this to Fred, you know Fred Thatcher, yeah. It's my strongest good friend, and we ordered like these ceramic, it looks like the old park that was there.
Yeah.
And we gave them to the Thatcher, we gave them to everybody. I just finished giving Gail Stone like 150 of them. that
Oh,
I had
wow.
myself. I said, take them, I don't need it. So, but good for you. That's great. Thank you.
Making a lot of efforts to involve scouts and school kids in the program, so it'll have a great educational.
I'm the Girl Scout contact.
Oh, fantastic.
So
What day of the week?
Veterans.
20th?
It's a shame.
I think it is.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Those old fashioned.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
There you go.
Right there.
There you go.
Do you know what time?
Probably start at 10 a.m., but we're still working on that.
Okay. We don't know.
Let's see what's gonna be
I like
called.
the-
Well, I can't
like
call
the
it
rest of them.
bicentennial. I know there's a word for
They
it. I'm
call it
just gonna,
sesquicentennial.
yeah, I'm not gonna try to.
I'm
I'm
like
gonna
the
call
rest
it the
of them, too.
250th
I'm
anniversary
with the rest
party.
department too, because we were very involved in that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Great. Thank you very much. Joanne?
Yeah, so planning board is, finally gonna land the plane, I hope. Our local comprehensive plan, the final draft is out. It was up for public comment for a month. We then took whatever comments came in. And there were some, really good ones, so we made some adjustments. So this is the final draft that will be, presented at a public hearing on October 1st.
Which is
So
a week
that-
from
a
today.
week from today. So there's a public hearing. It'll be the final opportunity before town meeting to comment
And what time is that?
at 5:30.
5:30.
And many of the committees that you represent were very helpful to us early on in terms of, we had meetings with you. All of the various committees, the capital budget committee, finance committees, as we went through this. So it's been a process where we tried to, engage as many parties as we could. We think we did a pretty good job of it. Kathy Williams, our town planner, was just remarkable. There's no other way to describe her.
True.
And we had a very good consultant, BSC consultants. And we see a lot of them at planning board because they do a lot of the surveys and property work. And so we see them, but they have also main offices in Boston and Worcester. And their planning arm is what helped us with this. So we think it's a pretty comprehensive document, and we're hoping that it'll be successfully approved at town meeting.
And what does that give us access to in the end?
Oh, well, the
funding?
reason we do it, I mean, why do you have a plan? Well, we have a plan because it's a good thing to do for town leadership and for the citizens of town to have a say in what the direction of development, the direction of services, the direction of changes in zoning, as an example, where we want to, look forward in the next 10 years. But this document also has a regulatory component to it, where the town cannot apply for grants. All of these grants that various groups are working on, you can't apply for it unless you have a local comprehensive plan that's approved by the town and by the Cape Cod Commission. So that certification process is a legal one and a very important one. And it just benefits any application that we put forward for any kind of a grant. So that's the one of the primary benefits, and it provides a good kind of marching orders for the select board in terms of priorities and the like. So, and it can be updated and changed and adjusted as we go through it. It's meant to be a fairly dynamic document.
Is it 10 years? A plan for 10 years?
Approximately.
Okay.
10 years.
How often is that done?
Well, the last one we did was in 2013, so we're a little bit behind. And we can blame COVID on that.
Why not?
But that might have been the second one. But that certainly was the most comprehensive one. And it was, I don't know if we have the binders in here, but it was 3 binders full. So we've moved down to about 150 pages. And
Right, right.
the juice of it is really at the very end, where we've identified all of these action items in various categories and a time frame and who's responsible for them. And one of the things that keeps this alive is that the planning board will be reviewing progress on this at least once a year to see where we are on all of these things that we said we're going to do. Are we still looking at them? Have we added? Have we deleted? So it's meant to be
Completed.
a real management.
Yeah.
document as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thanks to the planning board too for
Yeah,
that.
it's a lot of work.
So that's,
Anything else?
that's been my life. For-
What are you gonna do with all your spare
I
time?
know.
Great, thank you very
That's it,
much.
this plan.
Is there anything else right now before we take a little bit of time to go through the proposals? Just sort of scan them?
Conservation is good word, but you know, and Brittany.
Yeah,
great
she's great. Yeah, she's been
Oh,
great.
Thank you. Couple of applications and issues and a lot of public involvement regarding some of those things and so I think the committee does its best to adhere to the Wetland Protection Act and protect
Yep.
stuff around us and so I think it's an effective and effective committee and a responsible committee as far as that
Hmm.
goes. So.
And she's great to work with.
Yeah, oh, she's.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how anybody could be so smart, but you know.
She knows her.
Yeah.
She really does know her stuff.
Yes.
You know, not to go on about it, but there's a lot, it's a complicated, committee. You know, all the laws. She has the answers, and if she doesn't have an answer, she'll let you know about it, she'll go get it, and provide it, not only you, but whoever the applicant is for something or whatever. So, we're very, very fortunate to have them.
Yeah.
She hangs in there with us.
She's got a great sense of
Be good
humor.
with her.
Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Okay, the meeting minutes, we don't have today, we'll, have them at the next meeting. Dawn Marie will send them out for your review, from April and June. And if there's nothing else, I would like to just look at briefly, our proposals that we're gonna be going more in depth on this year. Yep, no problem. Yep. I appreciate this lovely graft of, you know, what's, affordable housing, what's
Kind
recreation,
of at a glance.
what, yeah, it's been very helpful.
Um. yeah, Just so we can keep track of,
Yep, you can make note,
yeah,
commentary, so that when we do go over them.
it should have been, and then attached with that was the information on historic preservation.
Mhm.
Okay, so I see. Yeah, that's it.
Could you make a copy of that for me?
Yeah.
So I can bring to recreation?
Yeah.
So if we could just start, we'll look at, the Harwich Ecumenical Council for the Homeless, HECH. I do believe this is one that, they've asked the last couple of years for, if I'm correct.
More than.
Yeah, it's been a while. Okay. So their proposal, is for homes that need repair for income eligible homeowners. They work with the contractors. It's a loan. The loan is then placed on the house, so it can't be sold without repaying it back. It comes off of the price. So that the money gets reinvested back into the fund. Reading through, it seems like they have a very good process of picking out homeowners that need it. They work with local committees and town groups to see who might be eligible and needing work. We'll see if anybody's looked. We're gonna go more in depth over the next meeting or two. But they're asking for 300,000 for the housing emergency loan program, and then 60,000 to cover a portion of the expenses necessary to actually run the program. The 360 total. Okay. It seems pretty, they've done it for a bit, so they're pretty
Have they always asked for this
organized.
kind of thing?
I think it's gone up, hasn't it?
I think it has. Let's look at my master sheet here. Let's see, this 2023, they asked for $120,000. Again, they got slowed down during COVID because nobody wanted to really have people
In their
coming and
home.
going in their homes. And if you remember, Mary Wagon came in and made some like requests for extensions and uses
Mhm.
to kind of use up whatever was in the bank. I think she needed an extension for
Mm-hmm.
one of their contracts. And then that's why I think 2023 came in 120,000 because they had been using up residual funds that hadn't been spent during
Yeah.
COVID.
And that, yeah, we could do all of that.
Mhm.
I don't want to take the time now. That would be something just would take a comparison. Because I know they always make requests, and it always seems to go through pretty easily,
Yeah.
because it's important.
Okay. Go ahead, Joanne.
One of the questions I'll shoot this your way when the time comes for them to come in and see us. The repayment of the loan, I'm curious as to how that comes back to us. And how much has been borrowed and how much has been repaid.
I think it goes back to their fund. Like it goes back to them. It doesn't come back to
It
us
doesn't
as
come
a
back to
committee. Does it? It goes to them, I believe.
And I think because that is a question that I had for
Here it
Mary
is.
Wagon as well.
Reimbursed to the town of Yarmouth for reinvestment in the program. So it goes back into their fund to be used back into Westboro, but we don't get our money
Yeah.
back. They just, because it could be 20 or 30 years for this 360 to be repaid.
But I had talked with Mary and because I was curious too, how much has been repaid
Okay.
and how was it used?
Okay. This is, I mean, we can come up with other questions and concerns as we go through it over the next week or so. So don't feel like this is your only chance. I just wanted to take a quick peek at some of these. The Habitat for Humanity of Cape Cod, they're looking right across the street to put in 6 affordable single-family homes. It will be across the street in front of Simpkins Field at that point. There's, they bought property there and they're looking for $180,858.
And it was that land, you can see in the additional
Yep.
funding column. They got help from the Affordable Housing Trust to buy the land. And you know how Habitat works. They've got lots of labor and material donations. Because that's a pretty small request.
Right.
Did
I
they
think-
get CPC along the way? Another time, I mean, this is
No.
the first time they came through.
No, the last development they had in Yarmouth was Virginia Ave over in West Yarmouth.
Talking. Maybe,
That was probably, they got CPA funded the Affordable Housing Trust and the Affordable Housing Trust is using the money to buy the land. So I think that's probably where we were talking about it.
So right now, it looks like 4 homes will be set aside for local preference, 3 for local preference and 1 for veteran preference. They all will be Yarmouth residents. And again, we can come up with questions and commentary as we go through this. They'll have a drawing where they'll pick the families and then the families help in the build.
It's usually a pretty good
Yeah.
community project, you know?
oh yeah.
Well, so 400 plus. Where does the 476 from?
That is, well, that's in their application.
So
Took that from the
beginning.
application, maybe in their budget. Oh, yes, other funding. FHLBB grant for 240,000. Construction funding for 111,000 and anonymous donor for 125. Does that come up to the
It's on page 4.
476?
Of their application, David. Yeah, it does.
351 for,
That's the Affordable Housing Trust. That's an annual request that they ask, and so we gave them money and then they helped Habitat buy the land. They used the money to buy the land. So we're just throwing it in there that's other monies that they're getting either funding from other places to help establish the project.
I'm just curious what the-
I don't think it was all our funds. We can go back though and see what we gave AHT to, or Mary would have the answer.
yeah, I don't know where else they get money, really. I think it
Is it all? of our-
all comes from,
Everybody good for the time being? Yep. Okay. Hands of Hope. Another one that's an annual request. They provide financial assistance to prevent eviction or help secure leases. Provide that income. Again, they've been doing it for quite a while. We can have them come in. They're asking for $45,000. 35 would be eviction prevention. 10,000 for financial assistance for first and last month's rent for long-term lease. And then 500 administration fees, to help out for financial assistance. So 45,000.
Question that always comes up with this one is, why don't they ask for more? The answer is always because they don't have enough people.
Right.
use for the project.
They only have one full-time person, everybody else is volunteers.
Notice this line where it said over 37% of all Hands of Hope housing assistance come from Yarmouth residents. And it says this is a 7% increase over last year.
Mhm.
Jumped out.
So again, we can have them in if we would like more information. They anticipate 45 Yarmouth residents will receive eviction prevention and assistance for the first and last month's rent in fiscal year 27. Fiscal year 27 starts July 26th
July 1, yep.
of 26. Okay. Anything huge stand out, or you can just go? The next one is the Affordable Housing Trust. Mary usually comes in, Mary Wiggins, who helps run these programs, will come in and any questions we have. We just give money to the trust for them to use and disseminate out. Go ahead, Paul.
It's worthwhile to have her come in because it doesn't go well.
Do we want to have her in next week if she's available, or does it matter to anybody in what order people come in? Okay, do you want to see when she's available? Okay. And again, if you're going to have specific questions based on looking at the application, if you could get them to Dawn Marie in advance so she can have the answers for us that day, which she probably already has in her head, but
Because I'll just say the first application is straightforward, their annual request for general
Mhm.
deposit into their trust fund. The second request is to repurpose funds that they have sitting in the bank that were used or designated to be used for the
Buy down.
buy down program, which is no longer viable because the property values have skyrocketed. It's just not a practical program anymore. So that's why they're asking to actually repurpose the funds to include use and acquisition and construction of mixed use rental housing.
So
So she'll explain it very thoroughly, but
Like Lee, I'm on the community housing committee,
yeah,
and there's a lot of activity on Route 28 trying to make this
Mhm.
happen, mixed use
Mhm.
thing, so it's eminently sensible.
to repurpose the money.
And the buy down program, if I have it right in my head, was more to get houses that could be affordable for the next buyer, but there would be a restriction deed on it, correct?
Right,
They would pay a certain amount in to get the price down,
down,
so then they could, okay, and it's just not feasible anymore.
right,
Yes.
because if the average home
Yeah,
is
yeah.
$500,000, you buy it down 200,000, still $300,000 is
yeah.
not really that
Yeah.
affordable.
Anything big stand out for either one for Mary? I mean, I'm not expecting questions, all the questions today. There'll be as we go along, but just if there's anything big. Okay. The next one is the packet landing from the Department of Natural Resources.
If I
Oh,
could
go
just,
ahead.
just raise a quick question in terms of, how we wanna, I mean, in the past, I think we've tried to group the housing
Mhm.
discussions into a couple of meetings.
Mhm.
And it's usually driven by when the applicant is available. So, I'm not sure how we wanna go forward with you, Don, recalling everybody and seeing who you can get for next week, and then, maybe the following week. So the first.
You want to
couple of
look at
meetings
maybe
are
housing, first two meetings, housing? The first and the
It's-
eighth?
We've tried to keep them together. Sometimes it doesn't work because of the applicants just aren't.
Yeah.
just aren't
Right.
doing it.
I think it's probably would work because of course Mary is here.
Yeah.
So she's usually available
That's two of them.
and she works so closely with Hetch and Hands of
Yeah.
Hope that, I think that they could get in as well.
Altogether, and I don't think it would
Okay.
be I don't think it'd be like an overly burdensome meeting
no.
at all. I do think Habitat should have their own kind of
Okay.
chunk of time, because it is it's
Yep.
it's an important project.
Maybe if we could do Hetch, Hands of Hope and the Affordable Trust on one day and then Habitat on another week.
Yeah.
So it's not,
Still thinking of Mary Maslowski being the first person.
yeah, we'll have her next week. Yes. No, we'll have her, ask her to come in next week and then, we can, whether we do,
So that would mean like for 10-8, you might have Jen Mullen talking about the finances.
Yep.
Uh
and then do the housing.
Megan Eldridge.
Yep.
Introduction. And Habitat
Mhm.
on the 8th. I mean, Jen could probably come in next week as well. Oh, because 10-1 we're doing housing and Mary Maslowski.
I'm just thinking about 10-1 for myself.
Okay.
That's the public hearing.
Oh,
for-
you're right.
For this.
Well,
Yes.
Why don't we push it off
So-
till the 15th then for housing?
Yeah, if that's all right, because we could do Mary.
We can accommodate.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what other people's schedules are either, but we could think about Mary and Jen.
All right.
And Megan, and that might be
Yeah.
a good intro. I think for Megan, just in terms of the financial review that Jen always gives us, kind of the overview of where are the pots of money. What do we have?
Yeah.
It's always a good baseline, I think, to start out with.
It
What have
is
we
a good
got?
place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me make sure what, Megan's schedule is for the first, because I know that Sarah O'Reilly, the HR director, scheduled her appointments for October 1.
Okay.
So I'll check on that.
And if anybody knows any meetings that's on the schedule right now that you will not be here, if you could let Dawn Marie know, or I know ahead of time, so if we get notices that 3 out of the 8 or 4 out of the 8 won't be there, we won't have a quorum, so we'll cancel it in advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 5 needed for a quorum, because.
Yes. We have 8, so you need 1 more plus. So we'd need 5, and we have our 5 today. All right, we're good. Why don't we just, do we want to go just 1 more to talk about? It's 4:30. Give everybody a early night out. The Yarmouth Natural Resources, they want to elevate the driveway because it gets flooded a lot over there. Elevate the driveway, and yeah, it was great information.
Be on the front page.
Yeah. And then redo some of the pilings and platforms and stuff. There's a lot of information in there. I know some of the maps they put in there, I was like going, okay, I need to get out my magnifying glass and see what this one says.
Right, they're more,
Right,
just
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of illustrative,
Yeah.
but, one little, technical note is that the preservation, I think the best way to fit this into the CPA definitions is that the park, Packet Landing, was built and acquired using CPA funds. And this project is going to help preserve that park from sea level rise. Because not always is, construction of a dock fall under
Right.
recreation.
But we're trying to protect our investment in.
Right, because if you go down there during a moon
Oh,
tide.
forget it. Yeah. Can you even get down there?
Be up on that pavilion.
I know, and a lot of people, it is amazing when you drive by how many people are just sitting on the pavilion
Yeah.
or sitting on the benches and just sort of hanging out.
Mhm.
I didn't think of that early on, and I'm like, oh, there's more people just sort of hanging around.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
It's a great place to watch the bridge construction.
That's right, yeah, yeah.
Side the perimeter.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
Any major questions about this one? Nope, we're good. Okay. We'll call it for the day. We can go over the others another time and go more in depth. So again, please, questions in advance if you have them. We'll have people coming in the next couple of weeks, and then we can go over the rest of them just briefly. The only 2 conservation we already did with Brittany, so it's really
That's
Friends
the
of
deal,
Bass
yeah.
River, yeah. For Rick to come in.
So he'll be,
Well, we can,
yeah, we'll figure that out.
that can be later on. Any other questions, commentary for today's
I
meeting?
just have one thing.
Go right ahead.
Are we ever going to, or do you plan to have, a review of the projects that are kind of out there, and been kind of a retrospective on things that are
We can.
in the work?
Yeah, it would be good for the public hearing. We have to talk
Yeah.
about when we have our public hearing sometime later this fall. That would be good overview time to,
Yeah, just, one that always comes to my mind is the, natural resource is gonna do a, survey of town ways of water.
Yep.
That would be one that I know there's others like that.
yeah, yep, they're going to town on that one.
Are they?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there's been surveys out and information
Yeah.
for
Good.
people to submit, what have you used,
Yeah,
Over the summer, they put a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Anything else from anyone? Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you, Drew. Could I have a second? Debbie? Joanne, go ahead.
Aye.
Oh, David, sorry, Dave. Paul?
Aye.
Drew? David? Debbie? And Judy, aye. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks, John Marie.
You are welcome. You're welcome. That button go and there it is.